Whoa! Whoa! What a winter meetings, and we are live on the Baseball Insiders feed with Robert Murray, who is live in San Diego, just as we promised. It is 8:30 a.m. on the West Coast. Business has already gone down. I woke up on the East Coast to the Aaron Judge news being finalized, and that was 8:30 my time, so that was 5:30 a.m. your time. Robert Murray, thanks for joining me. A hectic last night, a sleepy this morning. What the hell is going on in San Diego?
It figures the first time that I actually get a good night of sleep in San Diego is the night that Aaron Judge signs. I slept right through the Aaron Judge signing, and that it happened last year with Carlos, or at the trade deadline with Carlos Correa, and now Aaron Judge. So tough scenes for me, but wow, we finally did it. We made it. We finally got Judge off the board, and we've seen ever since guys are flying off, and I would fully expect, from what I'm hearing, there's going to be more today.
Yes, and I will be relying on you all day long to keep us primed. And stay tuned to the Baseball Insiders feed for more. Please like this feed and subscribe. We're going to be on all podcast platforms too, live streaming. Typically, you got us Mondays and Thursdays at 3:30 Eastern. During the winter meetings, though, we have been relentless, and it's been a wild ride, and it resulted in, like you said, an Aaron Judge signing during your slumber. All buzz and all smoke had Judge to the Giants last night. You assured me no decision had been made. Turned out no decision had been made. But this morning we heard not only did Judge fly into San Diego last night, but he did so to meet with the Padres, who offered him $400 million before Hal Steinbrenner apparently stepped in and got this business done. What can you tell me about how this came together and what is true and what is lies?
So I want to address the Padres reported offer. I still have not confirmed that. I don't know if that's real or not, but he did meet with the Padres. That much is real, and it is clear from their willingness to meet with Aaron Judge and their $342 million offer to Trey Turner. They have money to spend, and I am very curious to see what direction they go in for the Padres and if they spend that money this offseason. But really, it was down to the Giants and the Yankees. And at one point throughout, I was hearing that the Giants were increasingly optimistic. But the thing is that neither team knew what exactly Judge was thinking. And ultimately last night, Judge informed the Yankees, it was late last night, that he was coming back. And they stepped up at the last second. I believe their offer at one point earlier in the week was like 8 for $320. Mm-hmm. And then they added the extra year and $40 million. But that was something that the Yankees prioritized. It's going to be I think this is what their second or third move now.
Canely yesterday and Anthony Rizzo, what feels like 35 years ago, but I think it was about 3 weeks back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So figure this is their third move. They're not done. They're going to continue making moves. It could be another starting pitcher. It could be another bat. The Giants now, they need to pivot. I would fully expect them, from what I'm hearing, to talk to some of the free agent shortstops. But this is a big domino, and we are about to have another one come off the board, I would imagine, today in Wilson Contreras. It appears he's headed to the Cardinals. I can confirm that. Ben, it's only 8:30 here. Today's been absolute chaos. I am an absolute zombie. So we're feeling it, feeling good.
Yeah, we had you on the floor last night. You could just tell that, the feeling of a person on a phone call desperately looking for an inch of real estate in the lobby of a hotel, and just knowing that you weren't going to get it. You were going to encounter loud people no matter where you were. How late were you there last night? What a mess that was.
I got back at 2:30 in the morning. And I woke up around 6. And yeah, figure that little window there is when Aaron Judge decided to have the signing announced. Well, he didn't decide that, but that's when it was announced. But unbelievable, man. I wish I was there for the lobby where I could actually witness that all play out, because I'm sure it would have been absolute chaos.
Aaron Judge camping outside your hotel room, desperately waiting to hear the head hit the pillow, and then dropping a line to everybody and setting off this frenzy. The shortstops are next. It would seem. I'm following that thread that you're laying down. Where do you think the Giants pivot now? The shortstop chase for sure, but do you know if they have a preference? They did ink a deal with Mitch Haniger last night, back when we all thought that Aaron Judge was maybe soon to follow, and everybody who broke the Haniger deal made sure that we knew that they were looking at both, and one wasn't a replacement for the other. So Haniger's in place, Bay Area native, San Jose. The shortstop hole looms large. They have a lot of money and a ton of flexibility. Are they a Correa destination? Carlos Rodon? What are you hearing with the Giants?
Yeah, so I'm pretty positive they're going to be going after one of those shortstops. I don't have a specific name, but I just believe they are going to be firmly in that shortstop market because they have money to spend. That's been something that they've made clear even before the season ended. Is they want to spend to improve that roster. They can't just stop at Mitch Haniger. I would imagine they're going to remain in play for a guy like Carlos Rodon, but I'm curious to see if these teams are going to be willing to go like 6 years for, say, $30 million a year. I don't know if they're going to be in a position to do that. I wonder what team is going to do that because there's going to be some team that does. I just don't know who it is going to be because the Dodgers prefer those short-term deals. I don't know if the Giants are going to do that. Rangers are out now after they ended up getting Andrew Heaney. I don't know. It's interesting, but the Giants are going to be active. That much I can assure you.
Speaking of the pitching and Heaney and Rodon, the market has been absurd there. Before the Judge contract, after the Judge contract. Late last night, us on the East Coast fell asleep to Taijuan Walker to Philly, making $72 million, I believe, over the course of 4 years. Dave Dombrowski doing Dave Dombrowski stuff, but also he had to, in this environment, Jameson Taillon to the Cubs about an hour and a half later, $68 million for him. Jose Quintana to the Mets earlier on Wednesday, and that seems like a bargain in comparison. I'm not sure what your feelings are on those deals and what comes next in the pitching market, but Tyler Anderson, did he leave $30 million on the table? Like, I think I was wondering when he signed that Angels deal, like, man, maybe the pitching market isn't what I think it's going to be. No, it's all that and more.
Oh, it is all that and more. And that has been the talk of the winter meeting so far, is that the pitching market is just absolutely absurd. And it's in a place that I don't think any agent or executive could have predicted, but the demand has been so high. And Anderson most definitely left money on the board. That's been something that I've heard quite often here, is that if he would have waited, he would have gotten maybe another year, or maybe he would have gotten more money per year. But Taijuan Walker getting 4 for 72 was a big surprise for me. I didn't think he was going to get that, but this is what separated himself from others, is he did not have that qualifying offer attached to him. That was a complete game changer. And that looked like a huge oversight in not extending that qualifying offer. And a result of it is him going from the Mets to a division rival in the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah, and Heaney's contract, he was never getting a 4th year. I feel pretty good about that, but he did turn down more money elsewhere, and one of those teams was the Boston Red Sox, who have had one hell of a winter so far. I mean, they've had Tommy Canley turn them down. They've had, how many guys have they had turn them down? Like 3 or 4 when they've offered similar or more per year.
Zach Eflin, I believe, also turned them down at the same rate. Heaney for sure. Haniger, I think they were in that chase. I don't know if Haniger turned them down, but another guy they were bidding on. They wanted Tommy Canley. They got Kenley Jansen earlier this morning. I wonder, Jose Abreu turned them down. Johnny in the comments, thank you. I wonder if they they meant Canley and accidentally gave it to Kenley and he accepted the deal, because otherwise I don't know how the Red Sox ended up with anybody. But $16 million a year for a 35-year-old closer who didn't quite look like himself in Atlanta. The pitching market strikes again, but what's your appraisal of that deal?
I don't have any issue with it. I thought that was a fine deal. And there was plenty of competition for Kenley Jansen. Like, it was not just like, it wasn't just a one-horse race. Teams I heard there, Giants, Toronto was another team in. But the Red Sox, they wanted a right-handed, like, leverage reliever. And I think they got one who, I mean, Kenley Jensen's track record speaks for itself. By the way, he's got the best all-time walk-up song in California Love when he was playing for the Dodgers. Like, there's nothing that ever competes with that. But no, I don't have any issues with it. I think the Red Sox, this needs to be the first couple of like many moves that they need to make. Because to me, it's not a sure thing that Xander Bogaerts returns. That's the scary thing for them. And they've made it clear. We've mentioned this plenty on the podcast, how much they prioritize bringing him back. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it. And that would be a huge blow to that team.
So you don't think that Jansen changes that equation at all? Because Jansen, I believe, is from Curacao, Bogart's from Aruba. I think they're, that seems like a move to mollify Bogart's a little bit, but you think he's trending in a different direction?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I would just say throughout this entire process that it's never been a sure thing that he's going to return. And if he does not return, I think that is going to be a really bad look for Heimblum. And I'm very curious to see if that does happen, how he recovers and how he responds, because that losing or trading Mookie Betts and then losing Xander Bogaerts within a 2 or 3 year stretch, that would be a pretty freaking tough blow.
And Rafael Devers' extension or non-extension still looms after all of that. So if you trade Betts, if Bogaerts walks out the door, and then you've got Devers to deal with, you have a third chance. I do feel like a lot of people last night were sort of giving the Yankees guff for not trading Judge. Like, I saw some Red Sox fans running circles around him saying, at least we got something for Betts. And now, things have flipped overnight, and the Red Sox have another couple of chances to get things right. Before we sign off, you mentioned Contreras, and that appears to be drawing closer. Cardinals seem like they've won the bidding over the Astros. Do you have any expectations for that deal? And maybe Houston pivots somewhere else. Do you have any read on their market?
So it won't. I don't think it'll be more than 4 years. I don't have specifics on it. But the Cardinals are very aware of what needed to take, or what the offer needed to be to get a deal done. But the Astros, they're going to have an abundance of options. You still have Christian Vasquez, who's on the market. You can possibly trade for Sean Murphy, who I believe they have quite a bit of interest in. And speaking of that, I still have not heard. I've seen some comments here asking, I still don't think a Sean Murphy trade is close. I still think we're waiting on that one. But I think the Contreras deal, when it gets done, is going to get the catcher market moving, because it was at a standstill here for a while. Because I think the best option, I could be misremembering this, that came off the board was Luke Maile. That's when it's at a standstill.
I didn't even notice. Luke didn't even put a ripple in my day-to-day. Well, we've got one more day of the winter meetings, and now Judges is done, and the dam can stop leaking and just burst. Let's empty your notebook one last time. Anything else we should be keeping an eye out for as baseball fans on the East Coast get lunch and everyone at the winter meetings on the West Coast rubs their eyes and tries to recover from Aaron Judge hitting you with a 5:30 a.m. Smoke bomb?
Yeah, very inconsiderate of him. But it seems like talks throughout the league have absolutely been picking up. I would say in like the last, they've been active, but like it seems like the last 12 hours it's been pretty chaotic. And we still have the Blue Jays, who are looking at a starting pitcher. Another team that's been looking for a starter that kind of surprised me was the Washington Nationals. Yeah, I think they were in the market for Jose Quintana, which is kind of interesting. But I don't think that Eovaldi's any closer to signing. That's the indication I have as of this morning. It's just the shortstop market is the next one that's going to be addressed. With Turner off the board, him turning down $342 million, I give him a lot of credit, because he and his wife wanted to be in Philadelphia, being with Kevin Long, being closer to family, being with Bryce Harper. Like, that's a huge draw for them. But where Correa goes, where Bogarts goes, where Dansby Swanson goes, teams I'm watching there, Giants and Cubs for those shortstops. There's going to be others. I think the Twins are absolutely very much in play for Carlos Correa. But this next little stretch here is going to be very telling, and I cannot wait.
I can't wait either. Any truth to the 2 shortstop Cubs rumors, by the way? Somebody was talking big that they were thinking about pulling a Rangers and going third base shortstop, just go to the top of the market.
I have not heard it. I saw the report. I can't say I've heard that.
Yeah, I love it though. Maybe just shift ban, get as many shortstops as possible, put them all around the field. Wilson Contreras play left. I mean, just go nuts. Robert Murray, you're doing the Lord's work. Your boots on the ground, and you got another long day ahead of you. So please rest up, man, because you're gonna be the one standing in front of that busted dam trying to not get overwhelmed by the water. So I appreciate everything that you do. We do not have a show without you.
No, hey, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go try to work out here in a little bit. Try to get the blood flowing and get the juices flowing. We'll see what we can do here, but I appreciate you as always. I thank you everybody for watching and tuning in. And if you could please subscribe, that puts food on my table and allows me to eat, which is very crucial for me being able to do this. Same with Adam, by the way, because he needs to eat as well. It is not actually. I did chest day yesterday. I think it's going to be shoulders today. Obviously, a burner. He's a very dedicated workout guy. I've noticed he likes following up on my workouts. I appreciate you for that. But yeah, hopefully it's a good workout. I'm not feeling it though.
Feels like he was actually keeping track. Like chest day, that was an educated guess. Like he knew you were going to do it one of the 2 days, and he was just off by one.
Yeah, sources familiar with my workout plan tells obviously a burner. Yeah. Hey, but Johnny, I'll tell you, Passan, that's my guy right there. I love Jeff Passan. I was able to hang out with him quite a bit yesterday, and an absolute gem of a human being. So.
The most scared I was for sure yesterday was right after the Judge Giants thing started to turn. Somebody tweeted a picture of Passan standing on an apple box getting ready to do an ESPN hit, and I was like, oh, he's going to drive a stake through my heart right now. And he luckily didn't, but he looked good on that box.
No, he did. And like he said, he was very thankful for the other distractions that were on Twitter because that did not get as much. The picture of him standing on the box didn't get as much play as I usually would have. But I told him that I may end up retweeting it just to make up for him beating me on so many scoops. That bum. But no, I love Jeff Passan. This is a Jeff Passan fan podcast right here.
Oh, certainly. And this is going to be a day of much movement on the ground. People are going to have their eyes glued to Twitter. They got the verification check thing sorted out. And so now we know where the real news is coming from. And plenty of eyeballs going to be on that Passan apple box photo all day. So make sure to subscribe to the Baseball Insiders. Like Robert said, it's the only reason we eat. Without it, we would not eat. And we're going to be live 3:30 Eastern next week, Monday, Thursday, wrapping up the winter meetings and taking you forward into the rest of the offseason because a lot of crazy stuff's going to go down today, but not all of it. There will be plenty more to handle. And at the very least, recap on Monday in a wild one, a full-length episode, once Robert Murray is a little more rested, hopefully. Robert, thanks so much for all you bring. Thanks so much specifically for what you brought today. Big day.
Big day. I appreciate you. I cannot wait to sleep for a week. I'm very tired, but we had to do the show for the viewers. We're men of the people.
And if I don't hear from you next week, I totally get it. But we should be back on Monday, 3:30 Eastern. Another biggie. See you later, everybody.
See you later, everybody. Thank you.